Ever since medical drama series New Amsterdam premiered in 2018, fans have seen Dr. Max Goodwin work passionately to turn his beloved hospital around. And from the developments that have taken place over the 4 existing seasons, fans have loved most, but some of them they haven't been too thrilled about. Here's the storyline New Amsterdam fans have agreed could have been better, so keep watching. First, what do the fans think about this storyline from the recent season? In the show New Amsterdam, Max Goodwin was forced to accept complete responsibility for her daughter Luna after his pregnant wife Georgia died. Ever since, he has struggled to strike a balance between the profession that he holds so dear and his only child. The current storyline follows Georgia's parents fighting for custody of her daughter. The two believe that Max is unable to look after his daughter and is too invested in the hospital to take good care of her. Some fans have a problem with this. They think that Georgia's parents, Gwen and Calvin, shouldn't have to put up a fight and should be granted custody. One user on Reddit who started a thread related to this said, "Max is barely there. He does put the hospital first, he did run a good room with a deadly chemical inside, with no thought to his daughter and what his death would do to her." Other users agree with this narrative under the thread. They feel that Luna is better off living with her grandparents, instead of a father who's absent most of the time and leaves her in daycare. On the other hand, there are a few who think that Max is in fact a perfectly healthy father for Luna. They disagreed with the idea that single parents should lose custody of their children. Others said that instead of a custody battle, Luna's parents should have helped Max find a good caretaker for her. This would have meant that Max didn't have to worry about losing his daughter, and that the grandparents would have also been assured about Luna being in good hands. It's really just a matter of personal opinion when it comes to this storyline. What happened on the latest episode of New Amsterdam, and what to expect from the next one? In the January 11th episode of New Amsterdam that premiered on NBC, Helen took reins at the NHS Hampstead Hospital. Max, on the other hand, finds a creative way to help a patient out. Reynolds comes to an important decision regarding Dr. Malvo. Iggy and Bloom assist their patients in understanding the source of their stress better. Meanwhile, Dr. Wilder uses some unusual techniques in his practice. In the episode, we saw Max fully ready to get to work. There was one little problem though, he felt that nobody would hire him. However, he did find himself a patient in the episode and helped them out in one of the most unique ways. But what could happen in the upcoming episode? We have some theories. The 13th episode of New Amsterdam will premiere on the 18th of January and is titled Family. In this episode, and according to the official description, we'll see Max and Helen attempting to adjust their lives with one another. Like the title implies, family would be central to the upcoming episode. We'll see Reynolds and Bloom treating a family after a horrendous car accident, and Trevor and Iggy reaching a new level of understanding. It's possible that, apart from the obvious links to the title and the content of the episode, we'll have a metaphoric sense of family in the episode. Who's the character that the fans wish would return to New Amsterdam? Over the course of its 4 seasons, New Amsterdam has introduced and pulled out several characters. The main cast has obviously stuck through the series, but many of the secondary characters are no longer seen on screen. Needless to say, fans have become attached to all these characters. One of them in particular is often missed on the screen. We're talking about Dr. Vijay Kapoor, who was a part of the New Amsterdam family until the 3rd season. Kapoor, who's played by an Indian actor, Anupam Kher, was one of the more grounded ones from the entire team. He would always be the voice of reason, calmly handling inconvenient situations and also calming the nerves of others. All was going well for Dr. Kapoor and Anupam Kher until the actor announced during the 3rd season that he would no longer be on the show for the coming seasons. It was quite the blow for fans, as well as the New Amsterdam team, as his character was a beloved one. The reason why Kher even left was to take care of his wife, who'd developed cancer at the time. It was truly a tough loss when he had to leave like that, but fans understood Kher's reasons and said their goodbyes. However, they still hoped that Kher would return to the show to breathe back life into Dr. Kapoor. The character definitely had an impact on the show, and it hasn't been the same without him for many. There's no saying whether Kher would actually make that much anticipated return. While it does seem sort of unlikely as the actor has moved on with other projects, in the case he does does decide to come back, the character could easily be adapted back in the storyline. We should thus hope for the best. What are some things medical experts say New Amsterdam got wrong? It's easy to go along with whatever technicalities a show involves according to the subject matter, but when you're an expert on the show's theme, those technicalities, if not done right, can be very frustrating. Turns out the experts have some things to say about their favorite show, New Amsterdam, too. Let's have a look. Max's decision for the hospital would ensure disaster in real life. The experts have pointed out that even if Max's decision make perfect sense in the show and also solve every problem, they wouldn't be as helpful in real life. Some of these decisions include stopping untrained residents from practicing on patients, forcing the emergency waiting room out of existence, and firing almost every employee of one of the hospital's many departments. What's wrong with these decisions is that they're too impractical. Firing employees the way Max has in the show would result in emergency situations, and could even put patient care on the line. It has also been highlighted that without an emergency waiting area, hospital beds would be provided on a first-come, first-served basis instead of medical need. The 40-minute episode gives convenient solutions to most crises. Without really understanding the nature and graveness of the situations, that's kind of understandable on the show's part, as building suspense and then delivering a satisfying ending to episodes and seasons is part of the show's appeal. However, had such an approach been applied in real life, it would have serious consequences. The doctors are always the problem, according to the show. New Amsterdam is a show inspired by the real-life Bellevue Hospital. One of the practitioners there pointed out one thing, but it's more of a critique of the show rather than an error that was made. The real-life practitioner from the hospital doesn't like the way New Amsterdam incriminates doctors and medical institutions. He argues that always blaming the doctors for whatever goes wrong plays its respective role in creating a mistrust in medical practice and other medical-related things such as vaccines. He also admitted that there are some bad practitioners in the medical space, but scapegoating all of them through the show does more harm than good, especially to patients who might start avoiding expert help due to this mistrust of professionals. So Max firing corrupt practitioners does little to solve the problem in the American healthcare industry. However, it could make things even worse for the people, according to experts. On the other hand, some experts have appreciated the patients first narrative of the show. They agree with the treatment of doctors as long as it's justified and think this sets a positive message for practices all over the world. This is more a matter of personal judgment and opinion, and the experts seem to be divided on whether New Amsterdam's storyline will inspire any positive changes in the healthcare space of America. Will there be a fifth season of New Amsterdam? When NBC first premiered New Amsterdam back in 2018, it immediately renewed it for the next 3 seasons. Unfortunately, the current season could be the last one of New Amsterdam, as there still hasn't been news on its renewal. New Amsterdam is currently 4 seasons long, and the 4th season is in the process of being released. Given the contracts that have been revealed so far, the upcoming episodes of the show could be its final ones. However, it's also possible that some other network will end up saving the show from cancellation if NBC is done renewing it. We just have to wait and see which network it's gonna be, if there's going to be one to do it. That was it for today's video. What are your expectations from the upcoming episode of New Amsterdam? Leave your predictions in the comment box below, and make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel, where we post similar videos frequently. We'll see you in the next one.